What is up, YouTube? And today we're going to be doing a different video. I want to show you guys how I batch edit a couple different styles of my photos. If you guys watched my last videos, you saw that I've kind of been getting into the whole long exposure daytime thing. So I have been practicing that, and I think I've gotten a lot better. I've been going out and shooting and doing it a bunch of times. So I'm going to show you guys how I batch edit all these landscape / nature photos. So let's get into the edit, and I'm going to try and do both a screen recording as well as a video so I can talk to you guys as I'm doing this. So let's get into it. So as you guys see here in this photo, it's really windy. So if you guys see here in the left corner and as well as kind of like right here, you see that there is a lot of movement as a long exposure. This was only 13.0 second exposure at f10, so it is it's going to be blurred out in areas that trees are moving, grass is moving, and obviously, as you guys see here, the lake is very, very flat. Kind of looks very silky because of the long exposure. So let's just get into this edit right now, and I'll show you guys how to do it. Enough talking about what the picture is. So we'll start off is I really like that the sky, you kind of see a little bit of the blues in it, because earlier it was cloudy. I don't know when you guys can't even see out my window, but it was cloudy, so I went out and I shot really fast. So what I want to do is I do want to bring a little bit of the exposure down, probably like -10. I'm not going to touch the contrast, and we're going to come right back here. And I do want to warm it up a bit. I'm so over like bluish, cool photos right now, because if you live in New York, everything has been dead and blue and gross because of New York winters. So now I'm getting back into the warm photos again, which is awesome. So we're going to bring down the highlights because I do want the photo to show a little more blues. I want to crush my shadows. And okay, let's keep going down to the whites. We'll crush those a little bit, but first I want to see how it would look with the push and pull plus 160 right here. Yeah, I like that a lot. So this is just using the VSCO plugin for push and pull for my Canon camera. It's 160+++. If you guys saw my other video, I show you guys how to get all these plugins for free. So if you haven't checked it out, go and watch it now, because these are so helpful and quick. So obviously my exposure is the same thing, and we lowered the highlights, which I wanted because I wanted these blues here in the sky, because the picture is very dark on the right and it kind of draws you to the left, which I kind of like because you go left to right here. So the clarity, I actually don't really like putting clarity into the photos. I like that like mystical look, because if you come here to your clarity and you boost it up, it kind of gives it like a this is only plus 37. It looks so fake, and I guess for like certain images it's alright, but I very rarely put clarity into my photos anymore. If anything, I do negative, like around -5, -10, depending on the image, but I like this the way it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I usually do, is drop the vibrance by 7 to 10, and I'm going to bump it back up about 9. So quick before and after, before and after. I really like that orangey tone right now. So it's just showing you what that plugin did really quick. If you guys take a look at the tone curve right here, it crushed the blacks, which I normally do in every photo. The whites here, it's tough to see, but they didn't really do much. But if I wanted to crush the whites, I bring it down a little more, not that much. Probably like there. Actually, let me see. No. We're not gonna crush them. We're gonna put them like right over there. Just like that. And now we're gonna play with some hue, saturation, luminance sliders. So for you guys that don't know, this is the major key to every photo. Obviously, you have to get your composition in, you got to get everything down pat, but this I would say makes or breaks your photos with dealing with feeling of your image. So you go in, you can adjust your greens, your reds, your oranges, your yellows, blues, magentas, so on and so forth, and you can adjust each of these fully. So if you want to make one certain color brighter or darker, if you want to change the hue of the color, you could make it saturated or less saturated. It's pretty cool once you get into it. So let's start playing with it. So we have a ton of greens in this image. You guys can see that. I want to crush them. I want to bring them down in the hue. And I want to make it... Yeah, I think I like that a lot. Yeah, so I dropped, just by adjusting the green and the yellow, look at the difference. This is all green, and then I kind of adjusted the hue to make it rather dark and orangey tones. So now what we're going to do is we're going to play with the water here. I don't know exactly what color this is. So like, look, you see here, using that tool that I always talk about, this is yellow. And then none of this is really blue. Except, not even the sky, which is pretty interesting. So like if you take your blue slider here and you adjust it, you're not really adjusting anything. Same thing with the aqua. You get a couple bit here and there, but what it is it is orange and yellow. I'm gonna reset that. Now we're going to move over to saturation really quick. What I want to do is I want to play with these oranges, and like that's way too much obviously, but I do like that it has that orange tint to it. So we're going to play with that. We're going to play with the yellow slider next. So adjusting the yellow all the way up brings it like that. Bringing it down makes it like that, which I'm not a fan of selective coloring, so please, unless you know how to do it correct, or you're really good at it, or an image really entails for it, I stay far away from selective coloring. So for you guys that don't know what selective coloring is, that would be making everything underneath the sky, for example, all black and white and then the sky blue. It works in, I'd say, less than 10% of images. So yeah, let's stay away from that. Oh, there we go. Pop a little blue out there. I like that a lot. Nice. And now I'm going to come into luminance, and let's just see what we got here. I want to stay with the orange is fine where it is. This isn't sponsored by Monster, but it's the greatest drink ever. So playing with the greens, we have tons of that in our photo. So like, look, if I bring it all the way left, and I bring it all the way right, it all depends on what you like in your photo. I like this a little bit up there, and then that's a good start. So quick before and after, before and after. So yeah, so I'm pretty happy with where that is right now. I may go back in and edit it a little bit more. But yeah, so look, so there we are right now. So now we're going to come on down, we're going to go into split toning, and we're going to give the highlights a nice blue. I'm going to put it on that one. And then the shadows, we're going to put a nice light orange. Whoa. Wow, that's a little too much. And obviously the oranges are way too strong. So we're going to dull it back to probably about, let's say 5. So with that off, it looks like that. With it on, it looks like that. Very mystical. I like that a lot. And sharpening, I always put sharpening on images depending on how they look. So with this, I feel like I could use a little bit. You see some photographers go crazy and they set this to like 100. And then they come down here and they put their noise reduction up. I'm not a fan of that, so I like putting about like 10 to 20 on images, because otherwise it looks too crisp, and we all know that. Obviously you see here on the left of movement, so it's not like everything was stopped frame. We know it's a long exposure, so we're not going to do that. And no matter what ISO I shoot at, I always put noise reduction on just to clean it up. Why not? You know, I put it around 10 to 13. It doesn't really matter. So like if you zoom in here, the water, you don't see any noise, which I like a lot. I don't think I'm going to put a vignette on it. let's see. Actually, I am. I'm gonna put a little bit on. I'll put -10. I like that a lot. And yeah, I like that a lot. I'm really happy with how that looks. So this is how I would go about editing a nature shoot, landscape, whatever you want to call this right now. It just is something a little different. So I hope you guys like that whole batch tutorial thing. I'm going to do a couple different ones on how I do models. Models I do completely different. It's nothing like this. I have a totally different model style than what I do with my landscapes and my lifestyle photos. So I'm going to do a couple of those eventually. I'm actually going out tonight to take pictures. But I also want to show you guys how a little bit of practicing goes a long way. I'm going to show you guys the first picture that I shot doing daytime long exposure right here. And it's alright, it's nothing crazy, but I just want to show you the progression of how it was. And then I took this the other day, which is this one that I just edited. And then this one right here, which I'm really happy about. This is just 3 different shoots, going out, learning, experimenting, playing with different things, and getting the gist of it. Watching YouTube videos. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Josh Katz. I watched his video, watched a couple different YouTubers on how to get the whole daytime long exposure, because I'm familiar with nighttime long exposure, which is easy because you don't need any filters unless you want. But you can go out with the basic of cameras like a T3i, a T2i, a T5i, whatever you want to go out with, and you could go out and you could shoot long exposures at night. But when it comes to daytime, you need to understand the gist of your aperture and your shutter speed, and then obviously on top of that you need to put a neutral density filter. So please, please, please go out there and practice, practice, practice. Go try new things. Go search. You could even search Pinterest on photo shoot ideas, and you could go and try and mimic these. That's how I learned, and that's how I've gained everything that I've known on photography. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.